I recently realized that most of my life I was just existing instead of living. And for the last 2 years, I've been also quiet with my content creation. I stopped making any videos. And in those 2 years, quite interesting things happened, like the closure of my business that I ran for more than 6 years. I built it up from scratch. It was successful. It created the lifestyle that I have dreamed about in the past. It was amazing, but in its last chapter, I simply hated it. And from today's perspective, I realized that I simply sabotaged the business because I was hating it. Long story short, I messed it up big time. I closed the business, and now, more than a year, I've been wondering, what is it that I'm gonna do next in my life? What's the next business? And this wondering was dictated mainly from an internal fight that I had for way too long. And that internal fight is between my mind and my heart. My mind was always pulling me towards the trendy things, more impressive stuff. I wanted to make an AI cooking bot. Didn't happen. I wanted to start an AI consultancy agency. Didn't happen. I wanted to start a few other ventures that are related to physical products. None of them happened. They were all trendy and with good maths and perfect plans, but they were not aligned with my heart. After closing my previous business, I promised myself that I'm not going to do anything just for the money, but something that is going to be more fulfilling, which is the reason why 2 years ago I started creating content, because I wanted to connect with people and build business off of it. Contrast to this, my heart always pulled me towards that exact direction, connecting with people, building communities. I was planning to start a mastermind. I was planning to introduce a personal development seminar that hasn't got representation in the UK. Quite a few things that I was very excited about, but then my mind was always tricking me with excuses why these are not really tangible in a way. And I was stuck for more than a year. Then recently I had a wake-up call. There was a situation with my partner and we had quite a tough conversation. We went through it, and I remember the next morning when I wake up, I went to the bathroom, washed my face, brushed my teeth. All these automatic things that we do. And something strange happened. The mirror has always been there, and I've always been able to see myself, but I've never really noticed myself. It's just an automatic habit that it just happens. But that morning, after the tough conversation with my partner, I just looked at myself, looked at my eyes in the mirror, and I just noticed myself. There wasn't any thinking, but just something strange. I just noticed myself. Got showered, went down to the living room, sat down, and You know that moment of freezing in front of the mirror? It felt exactly like when your computer freezes. The only thing that comes to your mind to do naturally is just to restart it. That's exactly what I felt. I felt the need to click the button and restart myself. So I asked myself the question, how the heck I ended up here? Why did I had to end up with this tough conversation with my partner? What was the reason? And I couldn't come up with anything substantial, which was really annoying. I kept digging and asking myself, why is this all happening? Why the silence for more than 2 years now? Why I lost my business? Why I've been wondering for more than a year, what's the next thing that I'm going to do in my life? And it suddenly became so obvious that there was one thing underneath all of it that stopped me from doing what I want and what is meant for me. And it was fear. Fear. That awareness was so liberating, and I just wanted to really take it on and feel deep down this realization that led me to a choice that I had. It was in front of me, and the choice was, will I carry on my life ruled by fear, or will I just drop the fear and start living instead of just existing and reacting to everything? I made my choice, went back to my partner, looked her in the eyes, asked the same question. Do you realize what's going on here? Why did we end up having this tough conversation? She immediately got where I'm leading her, and she smiled. She said, I have no idea why we did this. And we both were amused by the power of the simplicity of this choice that we made, which was, we can be the way that we want to be. And everything just turned around. It was sudden, strong, and truly amazing. I promised myself that I'm not going back to the existing mode, but instead to do everything in my power to keep myself living instead of existing, which is why I'm back with the content creation, and you'll keep hearing more and more from me. And I want to thank you for being with me, and I appreciate you, because living is not meant to be done alone. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. And the last thing I want to ask you is, just take what is useful for you from what you've heard so far and leave the rest. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.